Este programa está apoyado por ti. I mean, this program is supported by you, our listener. Stick around till later to hear more about that. This is Café Go for August 30, 2025. Keep up to date with the important happenings in the Go community in about 15 minutes per week. I'm Jonathan Hall.
And I'm Shai Nechmad.
Hi, Shai. How are you?
Hola. We need to start.
¿Cómo estás?
Shalom. What else? Wait, I have more. Konnichiwa? No, that's maybe thank you.
Bonjour. Bonjour.
I got in really warm responses. Last week, we had a segment of the show in broken Russian that I tried to do because we talked about GopherCon Moscow or whatever it's called, like the Go meetup in Moscow. And the organizer messaged me later. Was like, "Oh, your Russian was really good for a learner." And I was like, "Oh,
awesome."
You know, I don't want to stereotype, but you know, when a Russian person is being this nice, they're actually like, it's like, nice try. Oh, thank you for trying.
Yeah. I think I've had the best compliment about my Spanish ever standing outside of a Cuban restaurant in Mexico City when I was speaking Spanish to some guy that was standing there. And he says, "Are you from Cuba?"
Nice.
Like, not at all, but I'm glad that you thought I had some different native Spanish accent.
Yeah. The same thing happened to me in a Rust conference. I was in a Rust conference and I asked some questions, a Rust meetup like in Herzliya. And then someone's like, "Oh, so what Rust does your company do?" And I was like, "We actually do Go. I'm just here for shits." Why are we talking about conferences and Spanish?
That's a great question. I mean, part of it is that I just feel like I'm feeling incredible FOMO for GopherCon.
Yeah, we didn't go to GopherCon.
Yeah.
And some of our listeners did, and they made it extremely noteworthy in the channel. Oh, you're not going to GopherCon? Oh my God.
And stick around next week. We're hoping to get some of the organizers on the show to talk about everything we missed and what might be happening next year, which leads to what we're talking about actually right now, which is on the GopherCon Slack channel on the Gopher Slack. They're doing a poll for which city, actually not even which city exactly, the next GopherCon should be in. The three leading options are Canada, probably either Montreal or Toronto, Mexico City, or San Francisco. If you like the idea of doing GopherCon in Mexico, you should go vote. If you like the other options, please don't go vote.
Wait. Wait. No, I don't. This is not the official position. I mean, I voted for San Francisco, though. I don't know if I'll be in San Francisco next year, thinking about it. But it is cool that like it could be in Canada or Mexico. Like, but do you think it's like this is what will determine it? Like right now, Canada has 96, and the next following is San Francisco at 44. But this is like Slack emojis.
Yeah, I'm sure this won't be the full deciding factor, but I imagine it will heavily weigh into their decision. One thing I pulled out of this thread here is though somebody asked, will it no longer be called GopherCon US? And the answer is it never has been called GopherCon US. It's just GopherCon. The US was sort of unofficially added when other GopherCons started popping up with their own suffixes, which of course led me to the question, what if we want to have a GopherCon on the moon? Can we just call that GopherCon, or do we have to have GopherCon Luna? TBD.
I mean, watching the streaming from the moon is going to be kind of annoying. Like it's going to be even slower.
You just set it up at a soundstage so you can fake it all. That's how that works.
Ooh. Okay. Again, not the official position of the Café Go show.
Anyway,
I don't know, but aren't there like considerations? Well, actually, no. Like, can everybody go to Canada or Mexico from the United States?
Yeah, American citizens certainly can. You don't need a visa to go to either place.
For the rest of the people, it's sort of the same.
If you're here on a green card, then it would depend on your passport, where you can go.
I actually think that maybe I'm just like Bay Area pilled, but I think almost everybody is like on a visa or on a green card or is like the number of capital A Americans I'm talking to on a daily basis is not that high.
I do think as a general rule, there might be exceptions, but I think as a general rule, you can enter Canada if you're allowed to enter the U.S. and Mexico.
Unless you hate ice hockey.
Perhaps. And Mexico lets just about anybody in except people from Central and South America. It's kind of what I understood from when I lived there.
I do think it's a consideration, though. Like they're probably not taking into consideration. I would like I would definitely love to go to any of these places, including the current GopherCon. I just wasn't able to.
I've already told my wife I'm going to try to go to more conferences next year, and she said, "Okay, this one's on my list. Whichever city it ends up in, I intend to go if possible. But I still hope it's in Mexico, just because the food there is amazing. It's so much cheaper there, and I want an excuse to go back to Mexico. But whatevs. Let's move on to India.
There's another conference.
Yeah, I don't speak any Hindi, so I'm not even going to try this one. Or many of the other languages
might not
they
even
speak there.
be Hindi because
they speak a lot of languages in dialects in India. But GopherCon India is coming up September 14 and 15. It'll be on my birthday. Yay!
Ooh.
In Jaipur. So I think we talked about this on the show a few weeks ago, but it's a good reminder. It's coming up in less than a month. So if you're in that area of the world,
the speaker lineup is up now as well. With all the talks, they look great, man. The talks look really good. There are a few very concrete ones, like crafting a custom Kubernetes ingress controller for intelligent traffic control from Rajani Akunde. She's a senior SRE at Okta. Literally take the person working on the thing at the most relevant company and come tell us how you do it. That sounds like pretty good.
Yeah. Should be a good one. Maybe I'll do GopherCon India next year also. I'm not doing this one.
Ooh, interesting.
We'll see. You've been to India before?
I have not. A lot of Israelis tend to do that. Like after the army, they'll do like a hiking trip, backpacking through India sort of thing. But I just like immediately went for the finishing my degree and getting the apartment. This is actually my big trip, being in the US right now.
Right. I had the pleasure of spending a week in Delhi back in 2008, but it'd be interesting to go back again.
I don't know if the show can comp you, but as you said, this show is supported by you. So if we get thousands of Patreons, maybe we'll be able to support the flight ticket.
Fly me to India, please. Send me $3 a month.
For just $3 a month, yeah. Okay, I have a news that there aren't actually newsy. It's more of a discussion.
Okay.
So I've done some Go work this week. I've tried to extract text from PDFs.
Okay.
And I started doing it with Go. Search for like all the Go PDF libraries and the Go OCR libraries, because sometimes PDFs, the text is not copyable. You have to do OCR.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a lot of time to work on it. It's not like a side project. It's like a business thing that I had to get done pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I really hope I could do it with Go because my current setup is in Go. I wasn't able to. I didn't find good enough libraries. And the libraries that I did find required like a ton of installations other than the things I needed, specifically for OCR. So I unfortunately reverted to Python. I had to do it in Python. I was like, man, is Python really the thing for doing data science related tasks like data extraction and cleanup? My first question to you, am I missing something? Is there like an incredible Go data science community that I should have gone to? Am I wrong? Like, are you hearing the story and saying like, oh, Shai's wrong. He should have been able to solve this in Go?
I mean, Go's Turing complete, so you can do anything in Go, right? I love that argument when discussing the merits of various languages, and someone brings that up, like, yeah, that's completely missing the point. No, I don't think there's a big data science community in Go. I mean, we've had some people on the show doing various data sciencey things. Matt Topol with Apache Arrow. We also had Ricardo Pinocio on talking about interfacing Go with Hugging Face.
Yeah, episode 65.
I feel like these are all sort of like bleeding edge. Like they're just like Go is still trying to get its foothold in that community. I don't think you've missed the train. I don't think it's there yet. I think it's still I think it's still pretty new.
And you know what happened at the end? I reverted back to Go because Python wasn't good enough as well. And apparently LLMs are the solutions to everything, because extracting text from PDFs, and the PDFs I'm working with are like slideshows, like slide decks sort of things. So they look nice, and when you look at them, you can understand them visually. But when you just copy the text, if they use like, some sort of diagram where the text isn't read like left to right, top to bottom, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, right? It's super garbled. But apparently you can send the file to GPT-5 now and just tell it, hey, read it and summarize every single page correctly. And it just like work. I mean, it does have limitations on the page or whatever, and I'm working through those right now, but I'm back to Go because it's just API calls, downloading files, handling errors. Perfect. there's this blog post we mentioned on the show, how to use Go for AI, which is, hey, just call the API. It can probably do it better than you. I had to go through an entire cycle of trying to solve it myself in Go, being disillusioned, solving it myself in Python, and then being like, AI overloads, you win. And I just use an LLM for it now. So now it's back to Go. I just thought it was a funny tangent, but I did go back to Go to implementing it. And there, it's just standard libraries, HTTP stuff. But I was disappointed that I was looking. It feels like a very basic capability, like extract text and do some OCR. It's like the first thing you do in a data pipeline. I couldn't find a good solution. I'm sort of putting my opinion here on the internet, hoping people will come into the Slack channel, which is also on the Gopher Slack, #CupOfGo, and like correct me.
Yeah.
And then I'll discover how to do it.
Just post a wrong answer on Reddit and you'll be sure to get the answer you're looking for.
I could do a complainy post on Reddit. We just moved one of those out of our backlog. It's a bit behind the curtain. But it's like, why is Rust better for desktop applications? If I'll post like, why is Python better than Go for data science? And some people tell me, oh, it's Turing complete. And I like the type safety. It's not what I asked. Talking about the Go blog, we mentioned the AI thing. You have one thing about testing time. Yes.
I have a half-written script about this topic for a video I started on over a year ago before I moved. Need to finish that up.
And we want to keep that one for next week, right?
We're going to keep it for next week, yeah. I'm going to try to flesh out my understanding of this topic, which is, spoiler alert, sync tests, the new feature that was added in Go 124 and made generally available in 125. I'm going to try to spend some time on this, hopefully this next week, if I can, to discuss it more intelligently.
So we're putting it in the future, but if you're listening to this episode in the future, we may have already talked about it. Confusing, right? That's exactly the problem this package is trying to solve. You're like trying to test stuff. But we'll talk about it more in depth next week. This week, we want to talk about one of the blog posts they put out. Again, for one of the 1.25, 1.25 features, Go 1.25 features that they put out, container-aware Go Max Proc. So we discussed this at length in the past. The blog post really breaks it down super well. So I'm just gonna summarize it, and I'll do it in a format I think will help you understand it. So, Jonathan, do you like doing work fast, like getting things done and feeling productive?
It depends on whether I'm being paid by the hour.
Okay. I know. But can you
okay?
Say
I'll say yes. I like to get things done fast.
Man, I can think this fast to like lawyer my way out of all these edge cases. Someone's like, hey, do you want to do a GopherCon in Mexico? And you're like, actually, GopherCon doesn't have a country on it. So can we do it on the moon? Anyway, so do you like doing work fast?
Yeah, I will say yes.
So if you had multiple CPUs at your behest, you would want to like all of them to work on things, right?
Yeah, I'd love to share my work across all of them so they can all be working simultaneously and make things done faster.
That is awesome. Go has, of course, strong parallelism with green threads. So it's not the operating system threads. And it can schedule your work across as many Go routines as you want. How many do you want?
A million.
All right. 1 million is going to be a problem, right? If you can run 1 million Go routines, should you schedule them to 1 million different real threads? Obviously,
I don't think I have that budget.
That much scheduling, that much context switching, you're going to have a lot of overhead, right? So there's a thing called Go Max Procs. It's been, I think, forever. I don't know since when it's been there, but it's definitely been there since I've used the language.
Yeah, me too.
Which is like a flag you put in the like an environment variable, and you say like 8, and then it's like, okay, you maximum processes you can have running at the same time is 8, and that's like a crude but super workable tool to do that. If you have Go Max Procs at 8 and 1 million runnable Go routines, Go will use 8 threads to run 8 Go routines at a time. It will not run more.
Right.
The reason this makes sense is because Go routines often run for a short while and then block, right? They read IO from the disk or wait for the network or go to sleep or whatever. And then you could switch to another thread. Very cool. If you've ever used Go on Kubernetes, which makes sense. You would want the same behavior, right? You will want the program to use some number of processes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't put 8 or whatever number, how many should it take? The reasonable answer is how many CPUs I have, right? On my machine, I have 7 CPUs. You should run 7 GoMax Procs. Mm-hmm. This is like super obvious, but I think this was done before Kubernetes and whatever. And then Kubernetes came along and you're running like containers.
That would make sense considering that Kubernetes was written in Go.
Ooh, you know what? I actually don't know. So Kubernetes is, I don't know how long it's been. The GoMax Procs thing is there from Go 1.5.
Really? I thought it was earlier than that, but okay.
Go 1.5, that's basically Go 1.1. That's like super early, no? Well, we're figuring out
it doesn't matter, but yeah.
The important thing is Kubernetes clusters tend to run on like huge ass servers and then, have smaller containers running on them. The default for GoMax Procs was logical CPUs. So like the physical CPUs with hyperthreading means, which is basically what you have on every normal cloud machine that runs Kubernetes workloads, counts the number of cores the machine has. And in Kubernetes situation, you have a server with like 128 available cores because it's a really strong server. But you're running on it containers where the pods themselves, the Kubernetes pods, you mean them to be like small, right? A small server.
Yeah.
Then you run them, you run into a problem where you're spawning way too many threads than what you expect. Yeah. This is something I've faced like 5 times. I don't know how many times has this happened to you?
I haven't noticed it before. So I've definitely run Go in Kubernetes before, but I've probably run into this, but it hasn't been an issue that we've noticed.
So for me, both in Reco, where we had Go on Kubernetes, and in Orca, where I like spearheaded, let's move to Go on Kubernetes, I ran into this issue twice, and I forgot about it twice, and we had a production bug twice because of this default. And I didn't even like contribute to the issues or anything. I was just like bitten by it, and now they fixed it for me.
Yay.
Which is like I think you can expect when working with Go. The new default takes into consideration the container environment by default. So if you're running inside a container that has a CPU limit, like a pod with a CPU limit, GoMax Procs will default to that. And then as an extra added bonus, because you're running on Kubernetes, a lot of systems do like, hey, increase my CPU on the fly, right? It's not actually moving to a new server. You're just increasing the pod limits on that server. Or more, I guess more normally what happens is you schedule a pod with a lot of resources, and then like cloud cost systems try to bring it down. You know what I mean? Yeah. You ask for 2 CPUs, but you're actually using only 0.1 V CPUs because your server isn't doing anything because you don't have any users. So, or for other reasons, maybe your code is very efficient. So not only it takes the container environment max procs value, it periodically checks and updates that as well. So if you started with 2 CPUs and then Kubernetes decided to auto scale you to 8, your Go program will like on the fly adjust to that, which is like a huge feature to implement. If you actually had to implement something like this yourself, it could take you like a year. Right? It's so complicated. Yeah. And these are the defaults of Go now, which I'm super excited about.
So a brief point of clarity for the history buffs among us. Go Max Procs did exist before 1.5, but it had a default of 1. 1.5 is when it switched the default to the number of single CPU cores in your system.
Nice. When was 1.5?
I don't know, about 1,000 years ago.
A million Goroutines, 1,000 years. You're like
2015. It's been a while.
You know, I don't know if it's before or after Kubernetes. Oh, Kubernetes was announced by Google 2014. Well, around the same time. We should have Joe Beta and Brendan Burns and Craig McLukey on the show.
Let's do it.
If you're listening to the show, we would love to have you on the show, inventors of Kubernetes. Or if you know them, hook them up with us. Anyway, Go Max Procs. If you are running Go on Kubernetes, you should read this blog post. But funnily enough, the only thing you actually need to do is upgrade and everything will work out just fine. And if you were using the Uber thing, so the way to solve this in the past has been to use Auto Max Procs from Uber, which was like a package that solves this for you. You just import it and it does the behavior that's now the default. You don't need this package anymore, which is awesome. I wonder if they're going to like, you know what I mean? They're going to put a notice on their README that like it's not required anymore. I'll open that issue right now. But cool stuff. I super love this feature. Honestly, it's like these sort of things that make Go, when people say Go is like production or system language, this is one of these things, right?
Yeah.
Like it just makes you so much more focused on the things you actually have to solve because you don't mess around with these settings.
Absolutely.
That every human would know what they want the default to be.
Cool. I think we have a short lightning round, but first let's talk about that Spanish language stuff I talked about. Not really Spanish language stuff, but the stuff I talked about in Spanish.
Yes. Da. No, how do you say we? No, we is French.
Si.
Si.
All right. Ad break time.
As Jonathan mentioned at the top of the show, this show is supported by you. The easiest way to support us is to, well, not the easiest way. The most direct way to support us is to join us on Patreon. We have a Patreon to support the show. It's a hobby. We do it for fun, but it's expensive, mostly for editing and hosting fees. So if you want to support us, you can. We really appreciate our audience for staying and joining. This week we have a new joiner. We may have mentioned you last week. I don't remember, Charles Crouch. But thank you for joining. And all the recent joiners. I feel like people enjoy the new Cup of Gopher Mini subscription layer. I do want to remind you, if you have subscribed to the show and you're doing it using Apple, like your Apple device, don't. Please do it through the web, because they're just taking a cut and it makes it more expensive for you for no reason. Just go into your web browser and do it from there.
Tim Cook needs a new yacht, though. Come on.
I don't know. I live next to all these people now. You know, I mean, like Zuckerberg and Tim Cook and all these people, like my neighbors here in the Bay Area. So I don't want to badmouth them.
All right. Well, we'll say hi next time you see Tim.
If you want to reach this Patreon link or our Slack channel or all the past episodes or all of our swag store with hoodies and cups and whatever, you can go to cupogo.dev. That is cupogo.dev to find all the things. And finally, you can email us at news@cupogo.dev.
Awesome.
One other way to support the show is to leave a review or mention us on like lists and whatever on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. We got mentioned on some list of like top 60 things.
FeedSpot, I think.
Yeah. I don't think they actually listen to the show. I think it's some sort of an aggregator, automatic aggregator, but still nice of them to mention us. Thank you. And if you're like an avid listener and I just like misread it, then sorry. Let me know. You are looking for clients.
Yeah, you could also sponsor me directly and maybe more directly help me fly to India for GopherCon next year. I'm looking for new clients. My contract that I'm on right now is ending at the end of the month, end of September. So if you could use some fractional architectural work on your Go project, hit me up.
Where can we find these beautiful services?
Yeah, boldlygo.tech is the best place to find me.
Boldlygo.tech. That is boldlygo.tech. And, you know, there's a lot of great content here. Funnily enough, Cup of Go is not mentioned even once. Like on your page.
Maybe I should do a better job of supporting the show.
I don't know. But there is a Boldly Go. You can do like a dev subscription, world-class Go development for a fixed monthly fee. And with a bold claim, talking about Boldly Go, you're already running my code in production. Care to explain?
Well, yeah, I have contributed a large number of open source projects written in Go, including Go itself, Echo framework, the Sentry SDK, Logris, if you're still using Logris instead of slog, Chi, Torp, several, and many that aren't listed there, packages you probably use that don't have big brands behind them.
You could join companies like Unity, Canonical, Deliveroo, Booking.com, and Teamwork to run Jonathan's code in the backend, including some customer testimonials here that say that there are unexpected outcomes. You should have specified positive.
Yeah.
The mentorship that Jonathan provided to engineers that were newer to Go, or the improved testability, productivity, and maintainability of the code base, vastly improved.
Other unexpected outcomes might include snarky comments in Slack and bad jokes.
Yeah. So go do that. Link in the show notes. If your company could use that, that makes a lot of sense. Let's go to the lightning round.
Let's do it.
Lightning round. First of all, Dreams of Code. Who was on the show?
My name is Elliot. I run the Dreams of Code YouTube channel on YouTube, which creates video content about software development. I actually run 2 channels. I also run another one, which is a little bit more focused on Linux, self-hosting, and open source, but Dreams of Code is my biggest one.
Has the command line applications in Go course on his course platform, which if you've been following his YouTube channel, he's like been building everything end to end, like in Go and I think HTMX or whatever, including he did the whole thing. So it's like a real labor of love from a proper engineer working on it. And there's an early bird offer for the full course, $200,
$199.
$199, yes.
Not sponsored, by the way. We're not getting any.
Yeah, this is not sponsored. I looked at like the lessons and how they're structured, and I think they are probably really good. Like it starts with basic introductions and using Go, and the only place where you introduce like the cool packages on how to build like fancy stuff is one lesson before the end. SQC and Bubble Tea and whatever, which is exactly the way to do it, right? Learn the fundamentals and then add the fancy stuff on top. Awesome. And I just think it's probably really, really good. So it's currently off. Actually, the early bird ends August 2025. So you have the moment you're listening to the show basically to buy it.
Go now.
17 hours of content with 120 lessons. So I don't know. I think it's probably pretty good.
Sweet. You know what else is pretty good? I can't remember what this is about. SQLite. we talked about this show. I think, was it a year ago? We had a series of episodes where we talked about SQLite because there were new drivers coming out. And I think we had the author of one of them on the show. But it's a good time to bring up again the Go SQLite benchmark repository, which benchmarks a whole bunch of different SQLite libraries in Go. Some are written in CGo, some are written in pure Go, some use the database SQL library abstraction, some don't. So there's a library there for you no matter what your specific SQLite needs are. Go check it out. Link in the show notes.
Yeah, and the benchmark does state that there's a clear winner. SQIN. I don't know how they're maybe Squin is like definitely the fastest, which is interesting. It uses like just stdin directly into SQLite.
That's really a curiosity to me. So it's talking to the SQLite binary just compiled in C over standard input and output.
And somehow it's the fastest, which is not what you'd expect. So it's a benchmark. Which is fastest? What's the best one?
I would expect the fastest one to be the one written in CGo.
So the actual answer here is this benchmark is smart. It takes a lot of cases into consideration. So it has a simple case and a real case. The real case is like insert 100 users and then 20 articles per user, then 20 comments per article, and then a separate transaction, blah, blah, blah. And there's no real clear winner. It depends on the use case. It does seem like a Squin or SQIN is pretty fast, and it's interesting as well because it uses only stdin. But this is lightning round. We're not going to go into details. If you need to benchmark your SQLite, you can read this. You can take a look at this benchmark.
Lightning fast discussion about lightning fast benchmarks.
Yes, and that does it for our show for today. Thanks for listening. Program exited.